What's going on, everybody? It's your man Cacti Man here, and today I got a video question on can you pollinate old dragon fruit flowers. Kind of a rough season for my dragon fruit. As you can see, I've been kind of neglecting them. Some of them are yellow, and because of that I've actually had a bunch of, I came out one night and I had a bunch of flowers blooming, but I also had a bunch of flowers that had already bloomed that I kind of missed the window on. So I figured, why not try to whoa, what the? What is that? What the heck? I think just munching on my dragon fruit. Oh heck no, I gotta get rid of him. He can stay for now though. Until I finish video. But anyway. So, I pollinated all my flowers, whether they were spent, whether they were barely blooming, whatever. And I think the results were actually surprising. I made this video once before, and in the old video, I actually said no, that you cannot pollinate old dragon fruit flowers. But in that video, I only had one sample, a sample size of one. I had the one flower, and I think it was already like 3 days old at that point, so, chances were pretty low. But this time, I actually had a bigger sample. I had some flowers that were a day old, some flowers that are 2 days old, 3 days old, and I actually found that some of them did pollinate. Like this one right here. This flower was definitely at least a day old when I pollinated, and look, it's green, really green. This was a flower too at the same time. That was older and obviously it didn't take, as you can see. But I believe this one right here, that one was 2 days old. I could tell it was really dry by that time I got to it. The stigma was really like rotting down, and I pollinated it and it took. So yeah, so you can definitely pollinate old flowers, especially if they're sooner than later. So I guess what I'm trying to say, the moral of the story, is that this Asunta 3 was also a day old, and look, green. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that yes, you can pollinate old dragon fruit flowers, but the catch is that the longer that you wait to pollinate your flowers, the chances of them being pollinated actually goes down. And I think it goes down pretty fast. So obviously you don't want to change it. You want to pollinate your flowers as best as on the day of that they bloom. But if you miss the bloom day, and it's still the next day, the next morning, or they barely bloomed, don't sweat it. You can always give it a shot. You already think it's not going to bloom, so why not just go for it and try to pollinate it anyway. But yeah, so yeah, go ahead guys, pollinate your old flowers. They might just surprise you. But yeah, so that's the answer to that. So moral of the story, to cut it short, yes, you can pollinate your old dragon fruit flowers. You just have to make sure you pollinate them as soon as possible, because the later they are, the less likely that they will actually pollinate. So be vigilant guys, try to pollinate them on the day they bloom, or sooner, much sooner after that, But yeah, so now it's the garden portion of my video. As you can see, my dragon fruits are looking pretty rough, in pretty rough shape. It's been a while since I've been tending to them. Life gets in the way. But I'm gonna log back in. I decided I'm gonna move the dragon fruit from here, and I'm actually gonna move them over there to the new lot over there, make it into the dragon fruit cove. And hopefully you guys can see the progress, because I have big plans for that. It's gonna go from hopefully just this 3 trellises to like 10, maybe even 20. I'm really gonna change dragon fruit from just being like a small little hobby to actually something that I want to put a lot more focus and attention on. So hopefully you guys can see like the progress over time, and hopefully I go from just these 3 dragon fruit trellises, also this thing right here, my fish bone cactus, and hopefully I have a lot more varieties, and I have just a whole wall of color full of dragon fruit. But yeah, stay tuned guys, because that's gonna be really interesting. And yeah, Cacti Man is back, hopefully for good this time. See you guys.